loading ramp. Frenetic activity disturbed the jungle's peaceful twitter. Loading the elephant on the truck is stressful for all involved. Another tranquilizer is used to make the elephant easier to control and to avoid possible injury.
This sound you get once it's a hello thing, the drug has gone in. So we are happy.
Dr. Attapattu has often stressed that they are risking their lives not for the villagers, but to save the elephants. But if only one elephant is successfully relocated, many people will also be saved from both physical suffering and economic ruin. Because this elephant was considered to be extremely dangerous, it was being transferred clear across the island to a forested reserve on the east coast. The destination is always kept secret to prevent anyone from tracing the transport and alarming people in the area where the animal is being relocated. Despite the enormous efforts of the team and the long transport to a new area, there is always a risk that the elephant will soon return to its home range. The only other alternative would be to destroy rogue animals, an alternative that would quickly be devastating for the entire population of Ceylon elephants. Under the cover of darkness and without stopping along the way, the team transferred the elephant 200 kilometers to the east. The operation had to be completed by morning. Many injured elephants on Sri Lanka are not dangerous rogue animals that need to be relocated. They can be treated and released in their home territory.
ඔබට ඇහැට පේන්නේ ඉන්නවද? ඔව් පේන්නේ ඉන්නවා මේ අපේ එකෙක් ගහක් උඩට නැගලා බලවුවා. එහෙනම් ඔය ස්ථානේ රැඳින්න අපි ඔය ස්ථානේ පේනවා. ඔව්. පැහැදිලි ලැබුණාද ඔය?
Treating wild and injured elephants is both time-consuming and risky.
Oh, you much I said I want them not to come, but still they came. But the administrator will say, no, in that case you shouldn't have done it, you should have come back. Why did you allow that to happen? So I do not take that risk. And just imagine all the trees, right? Oh, there are people. There are about 500 people right from. Then there are even women and children. In other villages, when you explain, they go back. But here, these fellows are real fools. They don't understand.
It is difficult to locate an injured elephant in the thick vegetation, and curious bystanders only add to the difficulties and dangers of the task. Antibiotics are also administered with darts, and as with the tranquilizers, you have to be close enough for the dart to penetrate the elephant's thick skin. Usually the animal will need a series of antibiotic injections to recover completely.
Here you could see little reddish color. That's because of the blood. So it has gone into the correct position. The antibiotic has got mixed with blood. It's empty.
So he got 3 shots.
He got 3 shots. And තව එකක් හැදුවද? හා? හැදුවද? Again.
One more?
පිරුණාද ඒක? This is an additional shot so that I need not to come back. මොකද වැටුනේ?
After each injection, the elephant gets healthier, stronger and quicker. And each treatment becomes increasingly difficult and more dangerous to administer.
In another 6 hours time, it will be very dangerous to get close to the animal.
We are on our way up into the hills to the village of Minneriya in southern Sri Lanka. The elephants were chased from the highlands 150 years ago as Europeans cut down the forests and transformed the hills into tea plantations. But now environmentalists and wildlife advocates in the area have been faced with a difficult dilemma. The forests are quickly diminishing in the lowlands, and the lack of food and living space is driving the giants of the jungle back into the hills. Tea bushes blanket the rolling hills on either side of the winding road. These hills were once covered with forest that held a rich variety of animal life. There was plenty of food and water to meet even the needs of the ever-hungry elephants. Tea pickers on Sri Lanka live a hard life and are used to working under difficult conditions. Wages are low, barely enough to cover necessities. The pickers grow fruit and vegetables on the side, but in Minneriya, most of what they grow is eaten or destroyed by elephants. The only thing they don't seem to like are tea bushes. Most people living here are Hindus and worship the elephant god Ganesha. Elephants are also considered to be somewhat holy, something that could work to their advantage. Villagers up here live much the way villagers live all over Sri Lanka, with one exception. They are frequently visited by a holy creature intent on returning. We stop at a small tea plantation owned by Raja Sitambaram. Raja has always been an environmentalist and an animal activist. But times change, and Raja is finding it more and more difficult to stand by his convictions.
Because somehow we have to find some sort of a solution for this elephant problem, because the coexisting with elephants is impossible.
In an effort to improve the environment in the area, Raja invested large sums of money to convert to organic tea, grown without chemical fertilizers or pesticides. But it takes 4 times as many workers to grow tea organically. When the elephants first began to return to Minneriya in the mid-90s, Raja was happy. He even warned the 400 people working for him to be careful not to harm the animals. He never imagined that his plantation would suffer. Now the workers have had enough. Long workdays are no longer an option, since no one wants to travel to or from work in the dark. Many workers are looking for positions at plantations where the elephants have not yet arrived. The wild elephants that Raja has loved and fought for have now begun to destroy his buildings and have even killed a few people in the nearby village.
These one of the worker quarters that was totally broken 3 times. And first time the damage was very minor on this side, it was repaired. Subsequently it was on the other side again, it was repaired. The third time the fellow came and got in this way and walked through this and he had come out that way. So with that the idea of doing it up again was forgotten. That patch which is been cemented there, what you see on the back of you, that was broken about 10 days ago and it was just repaired. And this happened this morning. Yeah, nobody will ever come here. I mean, practically, when they know after 6 o'clock they can't get out of the area, well, nobody is going to be interested in coming and being in such places. Because there are about 2 workers already killed with the elephant, and a couple of families have already left. Because here it's a human-elephant confrontation.
During the day, the elephants remain hidden. Alone or in small groups, the elephants, mostly bulls, hide in thick vegetation nearby. As soon as the sun sets, people lock their doors and the small villages appear deserted. We went out one night to see if we could catch a glimpse of the dreaded animals. Returning to Raja's house, we were greeted by the night watchman, and he showed us to the garden. Sure enough, they had visitors. That night, 3 elephants were helping themselves to Raja's bananas. With an abundance of food and water in these hills, it is nearly impossible to keep the elephants away. Until now, people have tried to endure, but if the authorities don't find a solution to the elephant problem soon, the villagers will resort to killing the animals. After a long night in Raja's garden, we went back to the village where there had also been visitors during the night. This house had recently been built, but the family had not yet moved in, and there was nothing edible inside.
Here you can see the mud.
The mud?
Yeah.
What mud?
Here, down this. You can see this side here.